Girl Tuesday podcast. It's your girl Danny, and on this week's episode, I do have a very special guest. His name is Stretch, and he is from the Dope Chats podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself, Danny?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for being here, for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's all love, all love. Anytime I get a chance to talk, I'm all for it.
Okay, we like that. Love to hear it. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you from and things like that.
No doubt. Well, first and foremost, full name is Ulysses Stretch Garrett. I am from the DMV, but Baltimore, to be more specific. I was born and raised in Baltimore. I'm a radio personality in the area at WHUR 96.3 at Howard University. Also, I just released my first book back in October 2019 called The Last Request, which is about a radio personality such as myself, but loosely based off of me. And it's a romance novel. I'm real stoked about the book because it's a romance novel written from the male perspective, and it's a story about a young man by the name of Mason Blake Jr. who kind of has everything in that the world can offer: great job, great friends, great family, but one thing that he's missing, and that is good love.
Mm.
And by way of his I should say uh, sort of traumatic background, he stumbles his way into a relationship, but all of that is threatened when something or someone from his past reemerges that kind of throws him off kilter a little bit.
Wow, very interesting. How is it writing about yourself loosely based, but is that kind of weird or
No, I mean, I think we all take stories from experiences. I mean, we've all had these certain experiences that we've had to endure in life. And so um, I just took certain bits and pieces of me, but also certain bits and pieces from other friends and their situations. Ironically, uh, when I first started the idea of writing this book, I was hosting a love sort of show, Quiet Storm show in Baltimore called the Love Zone, and that's what this particular character. That's what Mason. He himself hosts a sort of Quiet Storm show as well. But I would get these calls from these people, and well, from not these people, but from listeners, and some of the stuff they say, I was like, "This can't be real. This can't be real." I was like, "Yo," I started taking notes and
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. At that back then, I never really knew I wanted to write a book, but I was like, I don't know what I'll be able to do with these notes, but I'm gonna just hold on to them. And then eventually, a couple years later, that's when the idea kind of birthed itself, and I was like, okay, I got something. And then that's how I went. That's how it took place. It took me 13 years to write the book, though.
Okay. Hey, whatever it takes. I have to get my hands on a copy. I love reading, love books, love to read. I
Word.
ordered two books today, so I have to make sure I pick yours up. Where can people find your book?
Everywhere books are sold: Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Books a Million. But if you would like to get a copy, signed by me personally, please go to my website at lastrequestnovel.com, lastrequestnovel.com, and you can pick it up that way, and I'll be sure to sign and send it out to you.
Yeah, thanks for saying that because I definitely want a signed copy. I need it all the way official.
All right, word, I got you.
Okay. So your nickname is Stretch. Without any more time being wasted, not that time is being wasted, but without further ado, sorry, let me say, how tall are you?
6'6".
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, on the radio, my full moniker is Stretch, the 6'6" phenomenon. You know what I mean? So I that's what I've been rocking for 20 something years,
Six,
24
six.
years to be exact. Golly, time flies. But but yeah, that's it. How tall are you?
I'm 5'9". I'm a
Okay.
tall girl. I'm tall too.
You be rocking your heels? You be rocking your
Oh,
heels?
all the time.
Do you find it interesting if you go on dates with a dude who maybe like 5'11" or 5'10" ish, and then you throw them heels on you like 6'2"? Does he get mad?
Well, let's get into that. That's a good question. I don't typically date guys who are shorter than like 6'2".
Okay.
Like I usually date some pretty tall guys.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough, I guess, because normally the really tall guys like the really short women.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's like they make an exception for me, whatever that's supposed to mean. So I don't usually have that problem, but I can see how that can be an issue for tall women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of men who are short are more likely to approach me than a taller guy.
Yeah, I think it's a fascination with short dudes. Short dudes love tall women because like it's like, it's like that Amazon sort of vibe. They think, she's the queen.
Yeah,
I need that.
I love to climb trees.
Yeah, all that nonsense that kind of goes along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite annoying. But yeah, so that hasn't been my issue, but it's been a struggle for a lot of my tall sisters out there. But I wouldn't feel a way about it, I don't think. As long as the guy is comfortable within his himself,
Right.
like if you're good, I'm good. So most of the time they're good.
That's what's up. That's
They're
what's up.
also normally tall. So yeah. Now, would you date someone who was your height?
I've dated a woman or two that was around like 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
And when they throw them heels on, I'm like, wait a minute.
How's that for you?
It's all I don't really trip off of it, you know, it is what it is. I like to date a woman, I think who is slightly taller
Hmm.
because I think it's just for experience, for not experience, but just for certain situations like you go dancing, if you slow dancing, ideally I would like for a woman to be able, if she wants to lay her head on my shoulder, she can actually reach my shoulder
Yeah.
rather than I'm trying to slow dance with someone who may be not of said height and like their head is at my stomach. You feel me?
Yeah. Kind of weird. I've actually had a friend he's about 6'5", and he's like, one time this girl was so short, and I was just like, no, she's too short. It's almost like a parent dad
Right.
daughter type of situation, and he's like, and yeah, I can't do it. And I was like, wow, that's interesting.
Hey, sometimes I mean we know we like what we like and we know what we know.
Mm.
But you have these individuals or individuals who be like, well, I don't want to mess up the gene pool, like if you get what if you with a date a woman who's short, if you date a man who's short, and then your child may come out short, and then
That's funny because I used to say like on Instagram, like men want a short woman until you like birthing a little person and somebody who can't play any sports. Then what? Like, don't come looking for us tall girls then, you know? And it's funny because it happens. Like, I'm like, well, what did you expect if you're 6'5" and she's like 5'5"?
right.
Like, you're kind of, taking a chance with that.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get something in the middle.
You better hope and pray, But you know how some guys are with their sons, it got to be sports, sports, sports. So,
But yeah, yeah. But
speaking of, what are your teams? Are you into sports and are you like the local team type of guy?
yeah, I mean, I am I'm a Baltimore guy, so I'm of course a Ravens fan,
Okay.
uh, all day, every day. Not I do like baseball. Don't get me wrong. And so if I do want to root for a team, it's going to be the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Basketball, really not. I'm at the state or stage now where I'm more in tune with players rather than teams. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, no particular favorite
Mhm.
team. I like players.
Okay. Now, were you born and raised there, or did you kind of like migrate to?
No, I was born and raised in Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Baltimore is cool.
Yeah, man, we get a bad rap from time to time, but it's just like any other place. You got your good, you got your bad, you know.
Mhm.
It all depends on what you want to focus on. I try to focus on the good.
That's good. We should all have that type of mentality. Now, one thing I definitely want to get into is cigars.
Okay, let's do it.
You're a cigar aficionado, as one might call it.
Yeah, I would think so. I just I like cigars, and it's funny because I kind of got into it um maybe in my 20s,
Oh,
uh,
wow. Okay.
just just by chance because my dad was an avid cigar smoker and pipe smoker.
Mhm.
He doesn't really smoke too much anymore, but I kind of was fascinated, like with pipe tobacco and cigar tobacco and just like the smell and the aroma and everything. And so um I think the first time I ever had a cigar was the year 2000. It was when the Ravens won their first Super Bowl, and I went to the Super Bowl. It was in Tampa Bay, and during that time, at that same time, in Tampa Bay, they had this event called Gasparilla that was going on. So it's basically like Tampa Bay's Mardi Gras, right? But
Okay.
it's like directed towards pirates or whatever the case may be. And so I remember when the Ravens won that Super Bowl, we all had cigars, and like that was my first time having a cigar. I didn't know nothing. I was like, I didn't start off with no, groovy blue or some old, something like that. And I had a bona fide, I think it wasn't a Maduro. It was a Connecticut. It was a Connecticut. So, but that was like my first time having a cigar, and then I was like, yeah, it's cool. But then slowly but surely over the years, I kind of got more and more into it. And then I was like, yeah, now um, I like cigars.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
got real knowledgeable about it, that to the point that, like, I would always ask my father questions, and he would tell me what he knew. But now I know more. I think I know more about them than he does. And so he comes to me sometimes. He's like, oh, can you know about this, or can you tell me about that? So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite, or at least like a favorite brand, or?
I mean, I think my favorite cigar. Oh, that's a tough one because there are like about three or four that I really enjoy. Um, but if I was to choose, it would be um, the Opus X Oscuro by Fuente. Um, I am a big fan of the LFD Illusion Bull. I think that a lot of people are like, oh, I think it's just people are enamored with that cigar.
Mhm.
But um, my other favorite would be it's a good question. Oh, uh, The Last Czar by Caldwell. I'm a big Caldwell fan, and I really like that cigar. And also another favorite of mine, which is very inexpensive. It's probably like $5 a stick. And a lot of times people think, oh, $5, that shit is gonna be whack. Nah, sometimes you get some of the best cigars. They
Mhm.
don't necessarily have to be 40, $50 sticks and things of that nature. But it is the Grand Habano Corojo number 5. Great,
Okay.
great stick with the shag foot. Oh, that's a great everyday stick if you are a everyday smoker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are you an everyday smoker?
No, 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 no. Every other day.
Okay, close enough. Okay.
It
Okay.
all depends. Summertime, yeah, I think summertime I do increase my cigar intake because like, it's the summer. We'll be out and about. I like to take a couple cigars with me when I go play golf. So that's it. Are you an everyday smoker?
No, I smoke maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Not that often.
Okay.
Um, because here in Jersey, well, you're not that far off, but the East Coast weather is a little janky. So
Yeah.
I'm also someone who doesn't really like to sit in a cigar lounge for a long period of time because that becomes too heavy for me. Like the clothes, the smell, and all of that. So I'd rather just like smoke outdoors, or if I'm at
Mhm.
a restaurant and have an outdoor setting like that. So yeah, I don't smoke that much, but I know people who go. Like I have a friend of mine, he's at the cigar lounge like every single day, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. They go every day. And I mean like, but a lot of them are like retired cats. Like they'll be there when the cigar lounge opens and they'll be there when they close. So either they got no life or their significant other don't really they don't really get along with one another, or they just, they addicted.
Damn, yeah, like going to the store to get what to play the picket or something every day.
Right.
Um, it's interesting because I like milder cigars, so
Hmm.
I don't really like the ones that are too strong. So, what did you say in the beginning? When we first started talking about cigars, what brand did you say? You said a
Oh,
groovy blue. And it's
so
funny because I started out with like a groovy blue or something like that.
yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people start off with like infused cigars. You know what I mean? I think after I had like that Connecticut, I can't even remember who it was or whatever like that. I did try like Tatawahe, I mean Tatiana's,
mm,
uh, you know, uh, what was it? The alcohol dipped sort of like cigars. I've had those, and
yeah,
I'm like, that's cool because it's good to like just I guess introduce something new to your palate. But eventually, I'm like, okay, I can't do this shit.
okay. Enough of that.
Yeah, just get out of here. Give me something.
Right.
Give me something more medium to full body. That's what I like.
Okay. Now you did mention golf, so I was gonna ask you about that. What is it like for a black man who golfs? What is it? What is the term for that? Who plays golf? Like, how do you say that? Like, you know how it's like you play basketball. You like, do you play golf or do you?
I I I I I think you do play golf. I think that's what it is. I mean, you go out and you play golf. You just golf is a sport. So but it's not like a combat sport like basketball, football, stuff like that. It's more or less it's you against a course,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of times people get it confused in the sense of like, okay, well, if you keep in score, yeah, you're competing against not only the other competitors, but ideally your true competitor really is the course because it's
Mhm.
designed to for you to not let you win. So it's about how you go about learning the different nuances about the course, and making sure your shot selection is great or good, and you got to use the right clubs and angles, and it's a lot of little different nuances that kind of go into it.
Okay. So what is it like being a black man who plays golf? Like, are those
Oh,
two separate entities? Because I don't find too many black men who say, oh, I'm going to the golf course. And it's like,
well, you need to get to the DMV because that's all.
really, it's popular there?
Oh yeah, that's all brothers do down here, man. You got, we have the famous Langston Golf Course in DC, which was the only black owned and operated golf course that was allowed for black folks to play back in the day. You know what I'm saying, pre-segregation. So and that is still a viable course, which is now. Also going to be the home course for the newly founded Howard University golf team that Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors has graciously funded and put his his money behind the school and also to the golf course. So that's going to be dope. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of great golf courses that you will run into a lot of great people of color that are out there playing. I think, especially after, Tiger definitely jumped onto the scene and that golf became very popular within, the black community, because at a certain time it was seen as a sport that was, prestigious or elitist, or, shunned us out because, it takes a lot to understand the nuances of golf. One, it takes money because you got to get clubs and balls and all that stuff, and then also takes opportunity because you back then you also had courses that were only white only, would not let black folks on there. So
Really?
you know you're not going to have something where where people are going to shine in a sport if they're not allowed to play.
Right.
So so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow. Yeah, I know Tiger definitely changed the narrative of black people who are enjoy the sport. But like, so for you, it's probably going to be a crazy question.
Hmm.
In terms of your equipment, because you're so tall,
Hmm.
like, are you like having to accommodate the equipment, or does the equipment accommodate you in terms of like some type of extensions, or are you like bending more?
Yeah.
What?
Well, see, that's where the money part comes in too, because you
Okay.
gotta get. Yeah, I had to get golf clubs that are fit just for me. You know what I mean? So get the clubs extended. Learning how to, because I'm a basketball guy, right? I played basketball in my life.
Center.
So center forward. Yep.
Okay.
So that was that movement and things of that nature that's embedded in me. Golf is certainly something totally different because it's like you're swinging coming through, not letting your wrist bend, not trying to guide the ball. You know what I mean? Because it's not like basketball when you're shooting a free throw or shooting a jumper, you're actually guiding the ball. Golf totally different. It's like I said, it's a lot of muscle memory. It's definitely muscle memory. So you got to practice it, because if you don't, you know, just be out there hacking away.
So, so there's a different type of control between the two sports. Like,
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean,
okay.
basketball is a straight cardio. That's a cardio sport because you run
Yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Golf, you can chill.
Golf, you can chill, you can smoke your cigars, right?
Smoke your cigars, drive in a cart, and drink.
Yeah, I saw like this girl I watch on YouTube. Her husband is into golf a lot, and like they had somebody like almost like a rest stop, and we had drinks on the tray and
Yeah, yeah,
snacks, and I'm like, you can bring snacks out
yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta feed your ego a little bit, whether it be with some food or some alcohol, and you out there sucking. You know what I'm saying?
there? Really? Wow. I don't know too much about golf. I like not. Hopefully, this is not offensive for you because you played the sport, but I went to Top Golf recently. I know it's not the same, and I really enjoyed it. I said, okay, I could see.
But that's that. I mean, that's an introduction, because Top Golf is nothing more than just a driving range. You know, so if you enjoyed that, maybe you will say, okay, well, maybe next time I'll look to go to an actual driving range and hit some more balls, or I'll keep going to Top Golf until I get comfortable. Then you go get yourself some clubs. Next thing you know, you out there. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I don't think it's for me, but I like to do competitive things once in a while. But I'm a sports girl, but
Mhm.
golf is I think that's about as far as I can take it. I can't see myself like, don't the women wear like these little skirts, and
They wear, I mean, it depends.
that's really
Some
my
people
vibe.
they wear skirts, they wear shorts, they wear pants. It all depends. It all depends. You know, don't try to over sexualize it now.
Lord, please not, because I don't want that type of smoke from the listeners. So But my bad, y'all. I'm just saying. I only see them in skirts and shorts. But yeah, no, golf seems like fun. Tell me some of the. I like to ask
Mm-hmm.
my fellow talls, like some of the tall people struggles you have. So I'll give one example. Like when I'm washing dishes and I'm like, this sink is too short. Like I'm
Yeah.
tired of my back hurting bending over the sink trying to wash these dishes. So things like that kind of annoy me when it's like, do you consider the fact that maybe somebody might be a little bit taller? Or is this like the standard size? And if so, who? For who?
Right. Nah, I'm with you on that one. The dishes is definitely one that irks me. So I know like the next house that I buy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have the sink, custom. But then I also have to remember, you know, when I get married, I'll have a wife who may not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think some of the other things that really get at me is like when I'm hanging up a painting or something or a portrait or something at the crib and somebody comes over, be like, yo, that's mad high. I'm like, what do you mean? Like that's where it is. So it's like because I see things a certain way. You know what I mean?
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, I'm taller, so I'm gonna put it up to my eye view, or but outside of that, and
That's funny.
you know, trying to compete with folks to get the extra leg aisle and on a plane,
Mm-hmm.
which is another thing that irks me when you go and I'm like, okay, depending on the airline, I want the emergency exit, right? Because that's the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
83-year-old Miss Lynette don't need to be sitting up in the exit row. Why she there? She had a little bit of 5'3", and then can't open the door if they asked her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know, um, some random couple sitting up in there just not even really paying attention. Like, yeah, I don't need this. Get out of here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't try to have me sitting all up in the back, all jammed up, especially in a middle seat. I can't stand it. So it's like those are things that kind of irk me, especially when it comes to traveling. So I always try to make sure that I get on. If I know I'm going somewhere, I'll try to book my stuff in advance and get that exit row.
So you
And
can choose that. I don't fly, so I don't really know how it works. So you can kind of like choose your seat.
yeah. You can choose it depending on the airline.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Do you mean you've never flown before?
I have. The last flight I was on was in 2014
Where'd you go?
to Miami.
And so what, you had a bad experience on the plane?
Well, I've only flown like three times in life, two as an adult, and I went to California in like 2006,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a layover, and it was horrible. Like, first of all, it was too hot. Then they lost the luggage, and then I couldn't even talk when I got off the plane. It was just bad. And then the whole idea of layover, coming down, going back up, and I was just like, no, no. My family likes to blame my mother for that because she booked it that way, but I don't like heights at all. So from 2006 up until 2014, I did not fly.
Wow.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going on a trip. I used to bowl in a vacation league, so I want to, you bowling, you paying your dues towards a vacation. So my team ended up like second place for the whole season, and so I had pretty good trip. And my ex at the time, it was his birthday. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna treat you to. We're gonna go to Miami for your birthday. It's paid for. And we flew. I was living in South Jersey at the time, so we went to Philly to fly out and back. And the turbulence coming back, but from what I'm hearing for like my coworkers at the time and stuff, they say it's always rough flying back into Philly. And I was like, oh no. After that one, that was the one I said, you know what? This is not for
We
me.
got we got to get you on the plane again, my friend. It's time.
That's
There's
what
there's a whole
everybody's saying.
there's a whole world to see.
That's what everybody's been telling me, but nothing has been strong enough to get me to actually take the steps to do it. So
You'll get there. You'll
I
get there.
don't
I
think
think
so. You think so?
yeah, you'll
I
get
think
there.
it'll take the right person that'll be like, everybody like, oh, just stay up all night and just drink on a plane. And I'm like, no.
Hey, I mean, everybody got their little vices of how to or little
Yeah.
tricks to get over a flight. I think like the last trip I took pre-pandemic was to Dubai, and that was a 12 hour, maybe 12, 13-hour flight. And I think I watched every Marvel movie, in between like taking sleep. I mean, it was super comfortable. It was chill.
Really?
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it because then like um we flew Emirates, and like they had like this thing, like if you weren't watching a movie or whatever like that on the TV, you can pull up the actual map, and you get the aerial view of where you just flown over. So like flying over, Europe
Mm-hmm.
and like, parts of Africa. That shit was dope.
Really?
Yeah.
That would all terrify me.
Well, you be drunk. All you gotta do is just drink. They serve up that liquor. You
Just
know
give
what
me
I'm
some whiskey. I might could do it. My cousin's actually having a destination wedding in December, and it's to a place I've always wanted to go, which is Jamaica. So I'm like, okay, now I don't think I can miss this.
Yeah, you better hit that up. Jamaica is a great destination for a wedding. I know a lot of folks who have
Mhm.
gone there, and hell, you'll be fine. That's not a long flight.
I'm terrified.
You'll be all right.
I have my cousins, like my family, they live like in Atlanta, and I've never been out there to visit. And she always tells me like, you cannot have a honeymoon at what does she call it in Atlantic City? That's what she says. I'm like, that don't sound too bad. She's like, you cannot have your honeymoon in Atlantic City.
Yeah, you gotta get over. You eventually. I mean, I ain't trying to tell you what to do because you are who you are. But like your cousin said, if you want to get married or whatever the case may be, even if you just want to just go on vacation
Mhm.
and you want to get out this country,
Yeah.
you gotta get over the little flight thing.
That's always, how people set goals for themselves, like their New Year resolution. Mine is always at the top to get on an airplane. And I'm like, well, nothing happened. The pandemic kind of saved me from myself.
Right.
Nobody going anywhere, but this I don't think I can miss. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do because I have to be in Jamaica in December. So
Yeah, you'll be there. You might be a little drunk, but you'll be there.
a drug. Sorry, no offense to the people, but I might have to get doc. I need something that's just gonna keep me calm.
A lot of times you could just go to your doctor and say, "Hey, I'm taking a flight." They may give you like you know,
That's
I
what
don't know.
he told me. He said, "Oh, I got something for that." I said, "Okay, as long as we here." So when I tell you I need it, just send me the script so we can go.
Yeah,
Um,
put you to sleep.
yeah, but moving along, you're vegan, correct?
Yeah.
Now, was that like a choice that you had to make for like a lifestyle type of choice, or is that just something that you decided to try out and you kind of stuck with it? What's your experience been with that?
I went vegan about 4 years ago. I've
Okay.
been a type 1 diabetic since 1998. So I was about
Okay.
21 when I first found out. I was a senior in college, and um, I mean, I thought that I did eat pretty healthy, considering back then. I had stopped eating red meat and pork back in my 20s,
Hmm.
but it wasn't really until I was like, okay, as I was getting older, I just started to see, the it took a lot more. It was taking a lot more to kind of get my A1C under control and things of that nature. And so I started doing some research, and then realized that possibility of going plant based would help me out tremendously. And then ended up watching, of course, like I think like everybody else, ended up watching like What the Health, and um, did and saw what they were like speaking on when they were talking about the contributions of dairy and diabetes and things of that nature like that. So I was like, wait a minute, yeah, let me check this out. So that's what started it, and I went vegan, and I feel good, feel great. Definitely saw a difference in my numbers as far as my diabetes is concerned. So I'm gonna continue to rock with it.
Okay. Are there any stigmas and or like struggles about, being black and being vegan or just being a man
Uh,
and being vegan?
nah, I don't think so. I think vegan, from what I that's been going on since the dawn of time, right?
Mhm.
But I think, and again, I'm not, um let me take this back. I'm not one of those cats that are like gonna be all up in your face talking about, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, because you do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. Like, I don't really like to call myself vegan. I think I'm more plant-based, you know what I mean,
Okay.
because you
Mhm.
know um I still wear sneakers, and I got a belt, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I see that and I'm like, okay, this person said they're vegan, but that's a leather jacket. So I'm like, so does
Right,
it not apply to all aspects? Because
right. Yeah, that's why I say I like to just associate myself with being plant-based, because I know there's other folks out there who are about it, and
Mhm.
I respect everything that they do. You know what I mean? But um, I don't think there's a stigma, more or less. I think it's just like it's become such a I guess at this point in time, like a fad. But I would appreciate, and I think, no, let me say, I appreciate the fact that it is one, because then it is, allowing folks to see the benefits of eating healthy, eating clean, and hopefully at the end of the day, prolonging some years on their life.
Yes, people associate eating clean with bland and dry food, and I'm like, that is not the case. I've had some amazing, flavorful vegan plant-based food, and it's like, why do people just assume that it's nasty because it's not loaded with a whole bunch of salt and additives that we don't need anyway?
Exactly.
I was like, yeah, we
A
got to change that narrative about plant-based.
lot of that stuff that that's that's a way of them masking flavor, you know what I'm saying? Because you're like, okay, well, if I didn't have, you know, all this, gookity gook on top of here, this probably would taste, horrible. So let's add all this gookity gook that has ingredients in it that we can't even pronounce, and we don't even know what it's doing to our bodies internally
Right.
at a certain point in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've always wanted to take one of those. I see them like now even more often, like those allergy tests.
Oh yeah,
See
yeah.
like the things that your body likes and dislikes. I've always wanted to do that just to see if it's actually worth knowing.
Well, I think it is. You should do it. You got a lot of stuff to add to your list on things that you need to do. One, get on a
Oh,
plane. Two, uh, stop dating short men. And three, take that allergy
get
test.
started. I mean, I like to consider myself a little pretty young thing, but I'm not a little spring chicken anymore. So I need to check some things off of this list. It's piling up a little bit.
Yeah, get it popping, sister. Smoke more cigars. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna work on that. Short term goals.
There you
I'll,
go.
I'll take one off. December is approaching, so
Yeah. Yeah.
not
I
really.
mean, shit, the summer officially starts this weekend, but it's gonna be over very soon. And
Very
December's
soon.
gonna be right around the corner. What you gonna be talking about? Jamaica, Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm gonna be vlogging and having a time of my life. Be like, y'all don't know what it took to get me here, so I need y'all on this journey with me. So yeah, that should be fun.
Mhm.
Now, one other thing I found, like I think I followed. I'm not sure how we became Instagram friends. I think I followed you. I think you came up on my Explorer page. So I'm looking. I'm like, he's into a lot of things. We have a lot of things in common. So then one thing I saw on your page is that you're a Kappa.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's so interesting. My brother is a Kappa.
he's a good man.
And I was like, okay. That's kind of cool. He's at Delaware State. Well, he's
Okay.
in his master's now. But yeah, so I
Tell
have a.
him tell him I said what's up.
I'll tell him. I like the Kappa guys. I said okay, okay.
Oh well, see.
I'm at.
Ah!
What school did you go to?
I went to Towson University in
Okay.
Maryland. Yep. But I was made at the Hyattsville, Landover, Maryland alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
So yeah,
So that's so that means like that was after your college
yeah.
experience. Got
After college,
it.
yeah. After,
Okay. Okay, that's
yeah.
cool.
I was rushing late because I had to get a haircut. How's my hair look? I've been cutting it
It
short
looks
recently.
good. It
Yeah,
looks,
I've been cutting it short because I wanted to see how I would look if I was to go completely bald.
oh,
Yeah,
what do you think? You think you could do it?
I think I could
I
do it.
like it.
I was a little, apprehensive at first because I was like, wait a minute, man. I got one of those little peanut heads. And I got these big ass shoulders, and I sit up here. I always think I would look like remember Beetlejuice at the end when he was sitting next to the dude with the shrunken head.
That's one of my favorite movies. I love
Yeah.
movies.
I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to be the shrunken head dude.
You are
Sitting
not the
next to
shrunken head dude.
okay, then I might be able to pull it off.
You were getting a little nervous though.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous because up top here it's thinning, right? It's like the car got like a little bit of roof left, just a little bit of roof. And so like when I grow my hair out, you can see where
Okay.
there's like I don't know, a little foliage that's just there. So I was like, well, summertime, let's just do something dope. Let's just cut it off in the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be well received. Um, Going back to the plant based, I wanted to ask you, like, in terms of like dating and relationships and stuff, like, is it important for your significant other to also have like, practice like a plant based diet too, or you kind of really don't really
I
care?
don't really care. Like, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I had this conversation with this young, with a friend of mine I don't know, not that long ago, and she's like, well, um, I would want to cook for my mate and this, that, and another. I'm like, I can respect that. That's cool. But what you eat don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? So you can still, you have people out here, and if we get to that point where, you know, we get too shallow in the sense of and not even just shallow but just super just like picky from connecting with a person
Mm-hmm.
based off of their eating lifestyle. I mean, like that to me, I think I just find that to be idiotic in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you sit up here, you have people who are vegans, you have people who are married to pescatarians or carnivores or whomever. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? Because you eat what you eat, I eat what I eat. I don't need no one to cook for me. I can cook for myself. But if you do want to cook something, there's many things that folks who are not vegans cook that is considered vegan and plant-based. It's called fruits and vegetables. It's called beans. It's called pasta. It's just like you just not adding in those certain things in there that may be meat flavored or some sort of or some sort of dairy that goes into the recipe. I mean, it's not that hard. But again,
Substitution here and there.
yeah,
You can always make. I think they say you can always make a dish plant based.
right.
You just gotta make some alterations.
Alterations, man, and it's not that difficult. But again, I digress.
Okay. Um, that's interesting that you say that too, because I even think about some people in like their religious beliefs. Not to get too deep into that because I don't really discuss religion, but it's kind of on the same lines as what you were saying because I know people who are different faith and they marry and they find a way to make it work. And I'm just
Mhm.
wondering, like, does that ever become an issue or? you know, you kind of go into a situation knowing, you know, this is who I am and this is
Right. I mean,
what I can
I
offer.
think there's way much more to worry about in a relationship rather than what that person eats. I'm more. I think I'm a little bit more, worried about whether or not if I wake up in the morning and my significant other still loves me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's more
big
important
one.
to worry about. I don't eat chicken.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
agree.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
Hmm. No, I'm asking because I know a guy who's plant based, and he I actually went out with a guy one time, and it was time to order, and he was like, "Oh, I don't eat red meat." Now at the time, I haven't eaten red meat since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I ordered like some lamb chops. I used to love lamb chops, and I'm like, "You want to try?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm vegan," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I kind of felt bad. I'm like, "Man, I could have ordered some salmon or something had I known."
No, man, you
Don't
can't.
get what you want to get. I
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm gonna say. Don't trip. Don't trip. I mean, you get what you want to get. You eat what you want to eat. I think that's another thing, like, because we want to be so conscious of the other person. Now, I get it. You want to be respectful of that person's individual choice of what they're eating. But if the person says they don't care, you do what you want to do, then let that shit slide. Just go ahead and eat your lamb chop.
I'm such an empath though, even though like I said, he said it didn't bother him, but I know me in my heart, and I was just like, I shouldn't have done it. Like, but that's not something you would know unless you really had a conversation
Yeah.
about stuff like that ahead of time. So I was like, I had to let it go eventually, but I'm pretty sure I didn't eat my food. Well, at least ate enough to but
You wasted that good lamb chop because you over there worried about some dude.
I wasted that good lamb chop and that good man's money. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. So now let's say you were to host a party, hypothetically speaking,
Right.
and are you accommodating everyone's like preferences in terms of food?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not like that's another thing that kind of is funny too, because I go to like events or like barbecues and stuff like that. Um, and people are like, oh, hey, Stretch, we got something for you. We took care of you. I'm like, oh man, that's dope. That's dope. And it'd be like a salad, a salad. I'm like, yo, I I eat more than just leafy greens, brother, sister. Like you can't, you got to be a little bit more creative and think outside the box in the sense of it's not really thinking outside the box. It's just being a little bit more cognizant of the different, variations or different foods out there that
Mm-hmm.
plant-based people can eat. Like, I dig and understand, or not even understand, but I dig and respect like Beyond Meat and all these different entities like these that are making like meat substitutes. Like, I'll eat them. I don't eat them regularly, you know what I'm saying, because that's just not my thing. Because ultimately it's still processed. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's all about moderation. So like it's Memorial Day weekend. I think I will take the cover off the grill, clean it up real good, get me a rack of vegetables, roast them bad boys up, and possibly buy a pack of the Beyond Meat burgers, or
Mm-hmm.
I might just do me some regular good old black bean burgers, throw them up
Mm-hmm.
there on the grill, and call it a day. And that's it. Like, I just don't want people to be like, yeah, we got you some hummus. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
do you ever go into like a situation where you like let me eat first because I'm not sure they're gonna have something that I can eat?
sometimes I have, or sometimes I bring my own stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just like, let me just pull up to your crib,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have something that I know that's gonna be filling for me, and I'm good to go. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. That's interesting to know. Sorry, I'm just naturally inquisitive, so I always have like questions. I'm like, okay, but how does that work when this and that?
Yeah. I mean, I love to cook regardless, right?
I
Even
was I was getting to that. I was gonna say, I see you cook a lot too. Let's talk
yeah.
about that. your meals look pretty good.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I do a little something uh called chefing it up with Stretch. And like at first I was just doing it just to be funny, you know what I'm saying? Just to like try these different plant-based recipes and remix them into my own. And but then, you know, people started like, yo, that looks good, you know, that looks pretty dope. So I was like, okay, well, I'll continue to make some, you know, here and there, but that's a lot of work because I'm a one man band. You know, you trying to shoot all that stuff and then you got to go back and edit. By the time everything's all done, like, man, forget that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
but but even prior to me even going to be vegan, like I thoroughly enjoy cooking. Like
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed making everything, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Fish, chicken, you know, I don't think nobody's turkey wings are better than mine. You know, but I don't make that stuff anymore, nor do I eat it. But if I was to be, you know, say for instance, I get married or get in a relationship or whatever the case may be, my significant other eats that stuff, I can still cook it. I'll still cook it. I'll cook it.
Okay.
I ain't gonna taste it, but I'll cook it if they
Okay.
so choose to want it.
Interesting. So did you just tell the people that you're single? Is that what I heard?
Last request available everywhere books are sold. Pick it up. You feel me? Pick it up.
I plan to. I want my signed copy. So as soon as we're done with our interview, you will see. I don't know how long you get fast you get notifications, but I'm definitely gonna. I want mine signed. I want a nice message in there, or is it like already pre-written out? And you just throw it in priority mail.
Now it's signed. It's signed. But you know, but I also been recently putting in handwritten like thank you notes.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I need the full experience.
Okay, I got you, sister.
I appreciate that. Um, Before we get out of here, tell us about your podcast. Let's talk about Dope Chats with Stretch.
Word. Thank you for the plug. Dope chats with Stretch. Let me see if I can get there. You go with Stretch. Airs every Wednesday at 9 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook underneath, you know, Dope Since 76 Media is my company. And basically what I like to do is I like just to talk to other creatives. Like I've had a laundry list of like authors and musicians, politicians, you know, Black folks just doing beautiful things out here. And I created the idea. The idea came to me last year at the height of the pandemic because I wasn't on the radio at that time because like, you know, when COVID first hit, they was like, yo, they shut everything down. So I was like, I couldn't get in, couldn't do my radio show. So I was like, okay, well, we got, you know, IG and everybody's going IG live. So I was like, here's an opportunity for me just to have a little sense of normalcy and the fact of, you know, communicating with somebody. And that's how I started. And eventually I moved it off of IG and over to YouTube into Facebook. And yeah, it's just dope. It's just like, again, it's just a good time to just sit back and cut it up and ask some insightful questions with folks and kind of dig deep into what they're doing and give them the platform to promote their businesses and books or music or whatever the case may be.
That's dope. You said that's every Wednesday?
Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock.
Wednesday nights at 9 for the people. So y'all listening, make sure you tap in. I'm definitely gonna put a reminder so I can check it out on YouTube on this coming Wednesday. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to that because I can imagine you like as the interviewer because you're kind of funny. So
Oh, kind of funny. Shit, girl.
okay, you're funny. You're hilarious.
There you go. Thank you kindly.
As I roll my eyes for the people who won't be watching on YouTube, there was an eye roll.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So when I hit you, I was happy that you agreed to come on the show. A lot of the guests that I have are people who like approach me to come on the show.
Right.
And it's such a humbling experience. I'm like, you want to come on my little show? Like me? And they're like, you sell yourself, you know, give yourself your flowers because you have an amazing platform. And then when I had Dame Dash on my Instagram live, everybody went crazy. they really were like, okay, she's doing some things here.
That's
So they got
dope.
me a little bit of, not fame, but a little bit of hype in the podcast community. Yeah, so when you said you would come on, I was like, oh, that's dope. Okay, I know everything that I want to talk to him about because, when you see a person's Instagram and you don't really know them, it's hard to like communicate with them. So it's
Right.
like you don't want to be weird either. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna see if he wants to come on the pod and then.
That's hey man, I'm here for it. I'm all about it. I
Okay. Well,
appreciate the opportunity.
yeah, thank you for your time. Plug the book one more time, please, just in case people might have forgotten.
Last Request, available everywhere books are sold. Is a novel written by yours truly, Ulysses Stretch Garrett. If you're watching this right now, you're getting a little confused little way that it looks because the last is in green and I'm sitting in front of a green screen, so therefore it's going to wipe it out. But there it is, Last Request.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So pick it up. Great story, great book, easy read. It'll take you on an emotional roller coaster. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll laugh again, you get mad, then you'll cry. It's all good. But it's a dope book, and the key thing is it's a romance novel written from a male's perspective. Ladies, fellas, when have you read a romance novel written from a male's perspective? So give it a try. I would thoroughly appreciate it. Also, you can listen to me every Sunday, excuse me, from 2 until 7 on WHUR 96.3 here in the DMV. Download the WHUR mobile app on your phone. Check us out.
Make sure y'all go support this king here and tell them how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, please follow me on my business page. I'm trying to get that joint up, man. That's at Dope Since 76 Media. At Dope Since 76 Media. But if you want to follow me on my personal, it's at Stretch G, STRETCHG.
Dope Since 76 Media. So you're gonna get a follow from Tall Girl Tuesday very soon.
All right, I like it.
All right.
So how'd you come up with Tall Girl Tuesdays? Like,
oh well, that started out with like, cause I like to get dressed, and I'm normally like, when I do it, I'm probably too dressed. I'm like the overdressed friend.
mm-hmm.
So it started out like that. I'm like, us tall girls don't get enough credit out here because we out here doing it too. And every Tuesday, I would just post whatever I was wearing for the day. And then it got to the point where if I was posting or if I wasn't posting on Tuesdays, people were recognizing, like, wait a minute, it's Tuesday. Where's your picture? Like in my DMs and everything. So that's how Tall Girl Tuesday started because, they usually like to put something else with the Tuesday,
Oh, yeah.
what I'm talking
Taco
about.
Tuesday.
That or another T.
Titty Tuesday.
Tuesday. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, we gotta change this up a little bit I need something for my tall girls out here. So that's kind of how it started. And then like I became a guest on a friend of mine's podcast. And
Mm-hmm.
it was his highest rated show of the whole year, the episode with me. From there, people are like, you need your own platform, you have the voice for it, you know. We like your demeanor is definitely something that, people want to see what you're about, see what you have to say. So Tall Girl Tuesday LLC.
There it is. There it is.
How we got here.
That's what's up. Make sure you trademark Tall Girl Titty Tuesday too. You know what
Tall
I'm
Girl Titty Tuesday.
saying?
Okay, I might could do that, but then people get expectations, and it's like
Yeah, but they can get it all they want. You ain't giving it to them. You just trademarking it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll add that to the list too.
There you go. Tall Girl Titty. I digress.
But thanks again for your time and for coming on the show. And for all of you listeners, as always, I thank you, and I'll see you next week.